Hi, I'm Sandra Delgado, and my project is Live, Love, Now. Live, Love, Now is a solo show about death, but it's not a bummer. Looking back on my body of work, I realized I've always kind of been obsessed with death. When I started my music project, the Sandra Delgado Experience, which was also a 3AP funded project, I started telling this story about death and grief. And at the end of this story, there was an invitation to the audience to share the name or names of people that they had lost. And it was this communal ritual of grief, which felt really risky to do in the context of like a concert. But afterwards, it's what people really wanted to talk about. And so I thought there's something bigger here. So this little piece of the show became the inspiration for this larger show and this larger exploration into death and grief and a meaningful end of life for our loved ones, a meaningful end of life for ourselves, but also will hopefully equip the audience with tools to live life in the present. I will be taking part in a death doula training program. It's actually a program for caregivers for end of life. And then another big part of my research phase that 3AP funding will support is actually going and interviewing people who are death adjacent workers, such as other death doulas and oncology nurses and hospice workers, as well as folks who have shown an interest in sharing their grief story with me and how it has affected and what it has taught them about life. It is a nourishing and immersive experience about death and life and grief and joy and ultimately living in the present. And my goal is for you to walk out feeling better than when you walked in. When you hit the donate button, I want you to know that you are going to be a part of this, the DNA of this project, a project that's going to bring a lot of people healing and hope and tools to be able to have conversations with their loved ones about end of life and grief, and most importantly, living in the now.